of the year, probably because she was hurt and probably because she was last year's Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. Well, I'm here to tell you they decided to go with another WNBA star. That was A'ja Wilson. Now, A'ja Wilson, to me, shouldn't have got it, bro. She got help from the WNBA referees throughout the whole entire season. Everybody act like they forget that. I mean, they hella cheated against the Fever, pretty much.
Watch closely, because this isn't just a small complaint or a quick reaction. This situation is fueled by real frustration that has been growing for months, and you can feel that energy in every discussion surrounding it. What you're about to see is one of those rare moments when an entire fan base, millions of loyal supporters who follow every box score and never miss a game, suddenly reaches the same realization at the same time. That realization? No matter what Caitlin Clark does on the court, no matter how many historic records she shatters, or how many arenas she sells out across the country, there is still a part of the WNBA establishment that refuses to give her the respect she has earned. It's like watching someone drop 50 points, and then hearing people immediately shift the conversation to everyone except the person who actually dominated. And then came the spark that ignited everything. Time Magazine announced their 2025 Athlete of the Year, and they gave the honor to A'ja Wilson. The award itself wasn't the issue. Wilson is an incredible player. What exploded online were her comments about Clark during the interview. Those remarks are what pushed the basketball world into a heated debate, splitting fans and analysts into opposing sides all across social media and talk shows.
25% of the growth of the WNBA, pretty much saying that they was going on an upward trajectory before Caitlin Clark got there. Now, here's my answer to it all. I've been following this thing for the last 2.5 years, almost 3 years, and the WNBA died when Caitlin Clark genre took a hit this past season. Caitlin Clark only playing 13 games ultimately killed the WNBA viewership. Look at everybody's numbers. The numbers don't lie. Had Caitlin Clark balled out and had a spectacular season and the Indiana Fever won the WNBA.
Here's how everything actually unfolded. Time Magazine released its major feature on December 11th, 2024. In that article, A'ja Wilson was celebrated for an incredible year. She secured her third MVP award and added another Olympic gold medal to her resume, even earning tournament MVP honors in Paris. Those accomplishments are real, meaningful, and completely deserved. No reasonable person is questioning her talent or her importance to the sport. But this is where the situation shifted from praise to controversy. Hidden deeper in the article, almost easy to overlook until fans began analyzing every sentence, was a line that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It minimized Caitlin Clark's enormous influence on the league, claiming her impact represented only 5% of the WNBA's overall growth. Just 5%. And then came the line that truly set people off. The article suggested that Clark had almost single-handedly salvaged a league built by mostly black players. That wording matters. The word salvaged implies the WNBA was failing, struggling to survive, and in desperate need of a hero before Clark arrived. A'ja Wilson's reaction to that framing, how Clark's rise was positioned against the league's history, opened the door to deeper issues and long-standing tensions that fans, players, and analysts have been debating ever since.
See how Caitlin Clark ball out, and to see if Caitlin Clark's going to be the same Caitlin Clark we remember her to be at Iowa. Now, there was pictures going around yesterday, which we reported on, of Caitlin Clark losing a bunch of weight. Caitlin Clark looking like the old Caitlin Clark she was at Iowa. She lost all the muscle. It's all gone. I believe the muscle could have contributed to Caitlin Clark getting hurt this year. But that's neither here or there. I don't want to keep beating a dead drum. Now, with that being said, we know Caitlin Clark was one of the most Googled.
Let's break down what the real numbers show, because this has nothing to do with opinions, personal bias, or emotional arguments. When Caitlin Clark went down with a knee injury in July 2024, a moment that shocked fans and the entire league, the drop in viewership wasn't small. It wasn't a mild dip or something you could brush off. The audience for the game she missed collapsed by 48%. Nearly half the viewers disappeared instantly. That alone destroys the idea that her impact was only 5%. During Clark's rookie year, Indiana Fever games were averaging 1.78 million viewers, a level of attention the WNBA had never seen before. Those were historic numbers. But once she was sidelined and forced to miss 13 straight games, everything changed. Without her, the Fever's viewership plunged to 394,000, a loss of nearly two-thirds of the audience. For any television network, that kind of drop would trigger full-blown panic. ESPN tried to soften the blow by adjusting how they calculated their ratings, suddenly including streaming numbers they hadn't previously counted. That allowed them to claim the league only fell 5 to 6%. But anyone following the week-to-week data saw the truth immediately. The decline was dramatic, undeniable, and directly tied to Clark's absence.
Only part I found to be shocking was how far down she was. Now, this was the most Googled people in all of 2025. Now, I did a video on my other channel. I do support Shedeur Sanders, big advocate for him. So this was good for him, you know what I'm saying, and his brother Shiloh Sanders to be on this list. But this is bad for Caitlin Clark not to be in top 5 or top 10.
Good for Sophie Cunningham. Seriously, her success is well earned. But the real issue here has nothing to do with her. The real tension showed up when Aya Wilson spoke to Time magazine, and her comments revealed something much deeper than arguments about stats or TV numbers. She said, and this is the exact quote, "It wasn't a hit at me because I'm going to do me regardless. No matter what anyone says or what narratives people push, I'm going to win the MVP. I will win a gold medal. Y'all can't shake my resume because my accomplishments speak for themselves." Then she added that the real problem, in her view, was people forgetting the history of the league and the many women who built it long before this new wave of attention arrived. She said it felt like that history was erased for a minute, and she didn't like it. But here's the thing. That framing makes it sound like Caitlin Clark's popularity somehow wiped out decades of WNBA legacy, instead of boosting the league's visibility. And that idea doesn't match reality. Before Clark's rookie year, the WNBA averaged 399,000 viewers per game, which is not the mark of a sport on the edge of a major breakthrough. It was a league still battling for relevance in a crowded sports world, fighting just to stay in the conversation.
The most popular women's basketball player in the world. Now let's move on to the story of the hour. The story of the hour is, as soon as you type Caitlin Clark name on X, find this: fan defends Caitlin Clark passes shooting. Van Shea said it this. So this is the article that came out with Asia Wilson being on the cover. You know, so this was it, and this is it. And I don't really care for Asia Wilson, guys. I just got to be honest.
But the real issue here, the thing truly fueling fan frustration and division, goes far beyond TV ratings or viewership charts. It runs much deeper than numbers. It's about how the WNBA's established stars, the veterans who were already at the top when Caitlin Clark entered the league, have actually treated the one player who directly boosted their salaries, expanded their endorsement opportunities, and pushed their league into mainstream sports conversation like never before. All season long, Clark absorbed physical play that went way beyond normal rookie treatment. Game after game, she took hits, body checks, and outright reckless fouls. And somehow, many of these plays went uncalled by officials who seemed to apply an entirely different standard to her than to other players. There were shoulder checks and hip checks so obvious and so aggressive that they would have triggered immediate technicals, or even ejections, if they had been directed at almost anyone else. When the Aces faced the Fever multiple times, the pattern became even more clear. In their June 29th matchup especially, one sequence stood out on the replay. Clark drove to the basket and was fouled so blatantly that even the broadcast team, who usually stay neutral, reacted instantly, questioning why there was no whistle at all. Moments later, Aya Wilson scored at the other end, capitalizing on the momentum swing, and the officials allowed play to continue without review or hesitation. This wasn't an isolated moment. It was a repeated dynamic throughout the season. Referees consistently protected established stars through their whistle decisions while giving rookies, and Clark in particular, a level of physical punishment that would have sent other players straight to the free throw line. Night after night, the imbalance was obvious to anyone paying close attention. Then there's the Google Trends data, which completely contradicts the narrative that Caitlin Clark's influence was minimal in 2025. When you actually examine the search trends for that year, only one WNBA player cracked the top 10 most Googled athletes in the entire world across all sports. And here's the twist, it wasn't Clark. It was Sophie Cunningham, who landed at number 7, which is amazing for her. But Clark didn't even make the top 10. Some people, including Wilson supporters, have used that data to claim Clark's impact was exaggerated, saying the media created a story that doesn't reflect reality. But they're ignoring one crucial detail. Clark spent most of 2025 sidelined with a serious knee injury. She only played 13 games before being forced out for the rest of the season. The result? WNBA interest and viewership collapsed when she wasn't on the court. Casual fans, the ones drawn in by her electrifying play, disappeared almost entirely. The core fanbase remained, but the league's explosive growth, millions of new viewers and increased mainstream attention, vanished. In other words, the very data critics used to downplay Clark actually proves the opposite. Her presence is essential for the WNBA's popularity and visibility.
Black women. Let me see here, because AJ Wilson said something about Caitlin Clark. Where did I see it? AJ Wilson can't stop talking about Caitlin Clark in super woke time. She still comes across as bitter, grateful. The big growth was 5% with Caitlin Clark. CC hurt. CC brought y'all new level painful that CC still has to deal with this. Yeah. They can't go without talking about Caitlin Clark, bro. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
But Wilson also told Time magazine something that really shows her perspective. She said, "The biggest thing for us, and I was so happy about this, is that we continue to rise to the occasion and maintain our performance level. This was just a matter of time." On the surface, it sounds positive, but it actually reveals a big misunderstanding of how media attention and sports business work in today's world. The WNBA had 28 full years to reach mainstream attention before Caitlin Clark even played a single college game. That's 28 years of incredible players, thrilling playoff series, and Olympic gold medals. Lisa Leslie, Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, Breanna Stewart, all legends. They gave everything to the game and built the foundation for success. But none of them created the cultural explosion that Clark generated in just one season. Pretending this breakthrough was inevitable ignores reality. Without Clark, the league was still facing sub-400,000 viewer averages and limited mainstream relevance. Clark didn't just improve numbers. She transformed the entire WNBA spotlight, attracting new fans, boosting ratings, and creating a moment that would have been impossible without her. Her arrival wasn't a simple inevitability. It was a game-changing phenomenon that fundamentally shifted the league.
My thoughts about this, and I've been a person that's telling y'all this thing is not about race. They're trying to create it about race. Caitlin Clark is just a badass basketball player. You know, y'all know where I stand in it. You know, I support other black athletes. I didn't like Angel Reese. That's why I didn't support her. It don't make John a liquidator or racist. I just don't like her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just simple as that. But guys, get down in the comment section. Let me know y'all thoughts about this. Keep them bells on. Like always, shake the hand.
Here's why this situation is so frustrating for Caitlin Clark's supporters. Millions of fans discovered the WNBA through her, yet she's constantly minimized by some of the league's established players. Clark has always credited the black women who built the league, praising pioneers like Cheryl Swoops, Tamika Catchings, and Maya Moore for paving the way. She consistently lifts up the players who came before her, showing respect for the foundation they built. After the Time magazine controversy, where her impact was reduced to just 5% of the league's growth, Clark didn't respond with drama or arguments. Instead, she posted on Instagram about playing golf and enjoying life away from basketball. She chose to let the numbers speak for themselves. And the numbers are undeniable. When Clark played, the Indiana Fever averaged 1.78 million viewers per game. When she was sidelined with a knee injury, viewership collapsed to 394,000. International engagement dropped by over 50%, showing her global influence. Meanwhile, players like Aya Wilson benefited from Clark's rise, with bigger audiences, more endorsements, and higher visibility. Clark's success didn't erase anyone's legacy, it created opportunities for everyone. The league can honor its history while celebrating her impact, but it requires acknowledging reality, not framing her as a threat.